Hello, everybody. Oh, what the heck happened to the audio? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I apologize to everyone for that. But yeah, anyway, hello, everybody. Another video on Idol Awakening. Today we are talking about fantasy. I didn't have a time to talk about it last time, so I wanted to do a quick little video on it. I say quick, but we'll see how long it is. So, fantasy is, excuse me, first unlocked in the Gates Holy Grail War. Um, First, you do this like fortune hunting so you can get fantasy, and then like it's this stuff. So it's like an extra set of gear or equipment, but it works differently, and you'll see because they have like synergies, but it's like it's very interesting. And then I'll also talk about some other stuff on gear that I think only works with red equipment that kind of functions as an extra buff. These are all just to like help your heroes. So yeah, that's what this video is going to be mostly about, just like the equipment and fantasy gear or equipment that kind of buffs heroes in generals, not exclusive weapons or equipment, because that is specific to Ichiro, and I have to talk about Ichiro for that, and that's going to take much longer. So I'll just talk about equipment because that's super basic, and then fantasy, which is a little bit more complicated. But yeah, so let's get straight into it. So yeah, so this is where you get the fantasy. You have to spend diamonds, 900 for 10 of them, so pretty chill. And then you get these boxes, which actually give you choices to get basically the best version. Um, well, they only give you four different types of sets, so it goes down in rows. So each row is a set. Um, so there's Hydragum, there's Twin Blade set, there's yeah, they have some weird names. But you have to have all four of them and at the same star level. So you see how there's 2 stars there, but if we go down to here, there is 1 star. So their collective effect triggers only if you have four equipped of the same type, with the same star level. So yeah, you either want a ton of level 1 perfect fantasy or level 2, sorry, 2 star level fantasies. Yeah, so that's a little kind of sucks, but you still get like the second buffs. And the cool thing is you can get all the 1 stars and then just slowly replace with 2 stars because it still gives the 1 star buff, which is a little bit, it's like barely worse. It's still perfect, still legendary, still one, well, it's not technically 1 star, it's 6 star I think, and then 7 star. Because it's like the orange star. But yeah, it really doesn't matter, but you just get a little bit more like, kick with a full 2 star set. But you kind of want to have at least 1 star with the 2 stars, and they don't all have to be legendary. So I'll explain how that works, but it'll be a little bit difficult too. But yeah, that's where you get it. And then here you can choose 3 star perfect fantasy option one. Just some extra stuff. So yeah, you can just go through this and then get a ton of fantasy, like I did. And to just boost your team. By the way, we're at 2 million power, which I didn't mention. I never did a video on that, but yeah, we did a 1 million power video, but that was also part of other stuff. So yeah, this will be the 2 million one. We're at 2 million power. We're almost at 2.5 actually. But yeah, the fantasy contributes a little bit to that. And yeah, and here you do like battles and stuff for refining stones, gem, and then fantasy shards, which you can use. Plus, you can also buy them at the shop here, and then also this, which is fantasy awakening stones. Oh, I'm at 5%. I didn't even realize that. Give me 1 second. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I have to unpack right now. But it shouldn't be that bad. So yeah, first I'll talk about the stats. So just forget, well, don't forget about them, but keep these in mind: the Fantasy Awakening Stone, Fantasy Refining Stone, and the shards. Um, you'll use those later. So anyway, you have the sets, the fantasy sets. So what do they do? So flame sets have two parts with the same star to activate crit plus three, and then 4 star for 3% crit. Is it additive or is it just 3% throughout? What 2 star? Okay, yeah. So 2 star is it goes up to 4 stars. So yeah, let's just go straight to 4 star fantasy archive. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Obviously, I've only gone up to 2 star because those are the ones you can get basically for free, just for, well, not for free, but for drawing. I don't know how you get these 4 stars. Maybe way later. Um, yeah, these look spicy. But yeah, as you can see, you have the 2 star, 4 star gears equipped on the same character, 3 crits. Which I mean isn't a lot. The 6% is obviously a lot better. But then you get the extra additives of the 3 star, which would be like if you had two 3 star and two 4 star, you would get 5 crits, and then the 3 crits, it would be 8 crit in total. Which is still not a lot, but it's it's just a little extra. It's not supposed to be like game breaking or anything. Um, that one is not that cool. There's other cool ones. So 6 defense doesn't really matter. Um, soul so attack is okay. I mean, those percentage ones are just really bad. Healing amount is not bad. I mean, 8%. It's additive per gear, so I did the calculation wrong before. So it would be 16 if you had two of these four ones, and then I'm assuming like plus 12, so 28% amount of healing added if you had two 4 star and two 3 star. Perfect fantasies for magic. But yeah, that's just it's a good amount. I mean, 28 is a lot. But these are like the maxed out sets, so the lower sets just like give you almost nothing, but it's still a good amount for whatever you level you're at. And then rebellion sets. So this one is like interesting because it has the crit and then it has the skill, so you get both of them as well, I should say. So it definitely works in your favor if you have the same type on the characters. You don't want to mix and match because you want to get that fourth skill activation, and you always want the highest pair. Um, always like four of the same highest rarity because you get the same effect. But yeah, it's just interesting because if you had four of these rebellious, of course you have to have the rebellious primary, secondary, core, craft essence, and then ornament, I believe. Um, yeah, and you would have two plus 20 crits, and it deals 20. Well, actually 32% more damage to tank units, which is a lot because it activates it per artifact, which makes sense. I mean, I don't see any 4 stars, so I'm assuming it's way later, and I'm already a level 111, so I'm basically close to unlocking everything. So that one is cool. Um, Mage units doesn't. I don't really care about that one. Warrior, Hollow one. So yeah, and then this one's support. So yeah, so this is the ones that you can get for the 2 star and the 1 star from the drawing from the Babylon Key thing. So it's the Hydra, Hydra, however you pronounce it, Hydragum, whatever, Twin Blades, Hades, Twin Blade set, Gem set, and Salvation set. So with Hydragum, whatever, when being attacked, it deals 2.8 damage to the attacker. This attack ignores defense. It's good when you have a character with a lot of counterattack. So Artoria, Satoru is a new one that came out. Just like a ton of characters that can counterattack. And then you give them the ability to have debuffs with either talents or cores. So you can slow down characters or make them take more damage and stuff, and they just become absurdly broken. Um, you just give them some synergy with your team, and oof, it's just a whole nother level of character. But yeah, this is pretty cool. And then I never saw this part before because I don't have any of these 4 stars. But I guess enhanced volume Hydragium counter. Sorry, I didn't read the first part. Counterattack now has, or it does haste, 20% chance to reduce target's damage resistant by 20% last 2 turns. Unable to be purged and stacked. So it's just one time, but 20% damage resistance reduction is pretty good for tanks and support. There's a lot of those. Some warriors have them, but it's mostly support and tank, I believe. Mostly tank and support, but support is less than tank for sure. So yeah, that one's pretty good. All the other ones are just specific towards warriors or a certain stat. So except for the ones I'm going to talk about next. So all the ones before these sets, but these are the ones you can get much easier. So I think they're a little bit better in my opinion. Um, Twin Blades from Unlimited Blade Works. So Fate Stay Night. So these are cool. Just sort of from anime that I've seen and like. So attack, and then when battle starts, damage increases 3.3 each turn. May stack up to 5 levels. So it goes up to 16.5%. It's unable to be purged, which is the best part about it. So you put this on any character. I mean, it really doesn't matter. Usually, I would put on characters that benefit towards having increased attack, and then increases damage. So this is mostly for warriors because damage is, yeah, most attacks that are like heals based on damage or increases based on damage or stuff like that are for warriors. Support is more based on attack, it heals, or based on HP or things like that. So it's still good for some healers and just characters in general, tanks, support, mages, just in general. But the damage increase definitely gears this towards more towards warriors and mages. So yeah, those are just pretty good overall. Now we have the gem set, and this one is one of my favorites because it's the crit. Obviously, I love crits. When crit hits, 28% chance to deal another 8% damage based on target's max HP. Ignore defense, but limited to 1.2 times the attack or max attack. So basically, 120% times the max attack. Um, Very cool, especially for crit strategies. 8% and 28% chance to do it. It's not a lot. Uh, it adds up though. So times 4, 112% chance to crit. So that's good. That means that you have guaranteed crits even if you get crit down, unless it's Mikasa. No, not Mikasa. Not Misaka either. What's her name? She she's in that anime Index. a certain magical index. She has like the electrical attack, and it does a lot of damage. Oh, I forgot what her name was, but she seals off crits, so that this would pretty much be useless. But other than that, you're pretty much guaranteed crits, and then yeah, and then it deals another 8% damage based on targets. Okay, that's really cool. So it's basically just hit, crit, hit, crit, when the crit hits, another point tick of damage. This is ridiculous. This is probably one of the best ones. I mean, I might be a little biased because I love crit, but I mean, are you kidding me? It gives a single attack, basically a guaranteed chance to hit once, deal some extra damage, deal another attack, deal some extra damage. Possibility of having crit if your team is built around crit. So just like this would be perfect with Tsunade, like on a Tsunade team, because it says when your ally or when teammates crit, any crit basically heals your teammates for a certain percentage. Just go ahead and crit with this over and over again, and the healing is going to be crazy. Honestly, if you put this on a full team and give them a lot of crit, you won't have to have another support, even a revive, because I mean, so now they're just gonna heal everybody. So you just have to protect her and then deal a lot of damage, and your team is a crit destroying machine. Yeah, that's broken. That's basically one, two. Well, it's two attacks extra. And the second one is, well, 40% chance to deal another 32% damage. But all of it ignores defense, so you gotta keep that in mind. It's one of my favorites also because of that. So just defense, all that. Defense is garnered towards more towards tanks and support. So it's a lot better against those guys, and that's why I put on my warriors because usually they're good for taking out tanks, but I do want my warriors to be dealing support damage as well. In salvation, of course, you have to have a support item other than defense. So here comes healing, which is probably my favorite one because it just gives them a shield and then 20% chance to grant Heaven's Gift, which heals 5% HP at the end of each turn. And it lasts for 2 turns, so it's another buff. So yeah, that's really good. Healing also grants a 52 HP. Well, 80. Sorry, I keep messing up. 92% HP shield. Um, yeah, that's ridiculous. But yeah, these are kind of broken. So yeah, usually you get these. So you only get the first effect, obviously. And yeah, it's only 84 HP, I believe, shield, which is still pretty broken. But yeah, the only place you can really get those are through the this thing, the Fortune Hunt, Gate of Babylon. Is what I meant to say. Even with the 10 draws, you don't get. There's not a very high chance of getting it. I maybe gotten it once or twice. I mostly got it through here where I just rushed, and then this regenerates, so you can re-get these, and then you can choose what gears you want and complete them, which is really nice because if you draw any, then you can kind of complete as you go, and it's yeah, it's just nice. Is there anything else I want to talk about the Holy Grail? Oh yeah, so the shard stuff. What is this adventure thing? Okay, never mind. So we go to Craftsman, and when you unlock Fantasy, you get another tab for Fantasy. So you have all these like normal stuff, and also perfect. And if you have enough copies of one, so it has to be one specific type, including rarity, star level, and then stats and all that stuff. You get three of them, and then you fuse them into one, and then it raises up star level, which is good. I say only because there are 2 stars equipment and higher equipment. I don't know if you can combine. Um, yeah, because it can be combined into high star fantasy, but not higher quality fantasy. So I don't know if you can ever change the quality of your fantasy, but you can give it more stars, which is like just increases its stats and abilities. So same diff, but it won't be as strong as obviously a 4 star perfect. Um, and then also you can just fuse your perfect items here too, and then get those 4 star equipments when you do. But I will say that will take you a while. And how you will, I mean, I can't show you right now because I don't have anything to fuse. You use those shards. Where is it? So these the fantasy refined shards. These fantasy shards as well. Oh no, these are for the shop. Never mind. So those are for the fantasy shop. Um, and then where was the other? Do I not have any of it? Oh yeah, whoopsies, right here. The fantasy awakening stones. Um, so yeah, I'll show you what sets I have now. So of course I'm a Mikasa. I got all the fantasy for her right away because I was like, I'm not gonna waste any time on that. So we have her 2 star twin blades. I don't have any of her stuff activated on here except for the basic attributes and random attributes. So yeah, so Sue just gets speed, magic damage, which doesn't matter at all, and attack 464. And also I believe you can, yeah, you can refine. So this is where you refine with these fantasy refine stones as well, just to increase the stats of your items. So all the stats that I was talking about for the 4 stars in the Gate of Babylon, those all were like level 0 but maxed out, fusion star level, whatever, or rank, whatever you want to say. But then here, as you can see, it has all 4 stars activated, even though I technically only have 3 1 stars equipped to her because the 2 star counts as a 1 star as well. So now she gets plus 9 damage each turn, um, and it stacks up 5 levels, so 45% damage increase, which is pretty nice. And then she has plus, well, how much attack does this give? This gives 464, which is a, oh well. I guess this second part is inactive, so plus 15 attack as well. Then of course the attack and stuff from these. So yeah, dodge, defense, crit is probably most important, and then physical and magical damage resist, which is good because she's kind of a tank-ish warrior. But yeah, that's what I put on her, and these are the twin blade sets. Here we have Asuna. Can I do have the high dragon, so. No, I want to keep the crit. Okay. So anyway, this set, yeah, it does the 2.5 attack when being attacked. Just because she does more damage to characters with bleed, I believe. Yeah, 20% more damage, and she prioritizes her bleeding, her basic attacks on bleeding targets, and when she counterattacks with any, like when any character attacks with any core or skill or talent, usually it's basic attack unless it otherwise says counterattack with a specific skill or counterattacks again with this skill, whatever skill it is. Yeah, broken. Very cool. So yeah, I think that was it for fantasy. Obviously, you can I mean, there's a little bit more to it. There's some more advanced strategy, but if I want to talk about that, I'm gonna have to do a whole strategy on all the heroes. I actually started ranking all the heroes with attack, HP, health, defense, all that stuff. But I don't know if I'm gonna make that video because I spent like 3 hours just doing a lot of writing and realizing that I was just doing all of this for maybe a 30-minute video. But I just want to give you guys some content to well, for one, for you guys so are informed of stuff that can be helpful, and for two, so you guys can have more fun, I guess, because you get your account stronger. um I'm just collecting daily stuff now. So fantasy is good. Obviously there's some sets that are better than others. I'd say the Salvation set and Twin Blade set is my favorite, including the Hydragium. Those three are probably the strongest, because of counterattack, like the power of counterattack, guaranteed counterattack, because that says when being attacked. It doesn't say there's a chance or anything. It's just when being attacked, you counterattack. Um, it also has the crit, but that's not specific to anything. But a lot of mages and a lot of warriors use crit. Some supports do, some tanks do. So crit is just like a thing that a lot of characters universally have and use, and are just like crit is just useful for any character. You're just doing more damage overall. Crit rate specifically, crit damage is only useful when crit rate is high enough that the crit damage matters. But yeah, I think that's it for fantasy. Of course, the salvation is for support, because you want to just make them a better support character, especially if they're healers. And for what was it, the Hydragium? No, that yeah. So was the Hydragium one being hit, or yeah? So the sorry, Twin Blade set um is increasing damage, which also I think is good. Um, I think it's probably second, because I still think it's better to have the crit and um guaranteed like extra damage, even if it is a counterattack. And then if it's a counterattack, a lot of strategies use counterattack, so that just kind of makes a lot of other characters even more powerful. Kind of ranting on now, and I keep saying that's all I have, and I keep speaking. Yeah, I'm close to getting one of my characters. Well, Kirito or Rem. Definitely Rem. I'm closer to getting her to 10 stars, but we shall see. Gotta get lucky. Anyway, I think I'm gonna have to end it here. So thank you guys for watching this AOG Gaming. If you're enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. Really shows your support, helps me out, keeps you up to date with my content. 57 subscribers and going strong so far. So you guys are amazing. Keep going. Um, we'll hit that 100 subscriber mark, and then we'll do another special subscriber video. And then maybe I'll start doing Patreons where I upload like just random gameplay videos where, let's just say, it won't be kid friendly. Definitely PG-13 and above. Maybe sometimes above PG-13, depending on how mad I get. um, yeah, there's just some funny stuff that I can do. If I had better editing software, I can make some funny videos. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Yeah, and I'll see you guys later.